thought I'd show you my plants, my little hobby that keeps me a little bit on the saner side. I just absolutely love them. Excuse my chopping board. I had some toast earlier and I find that chopping board just brilliant, just to eat them off and butter them on and stuff. This is my prayer plant, the Maranta. It's gorgeous. These plants are fabulous. They're called like a dancing plant. They're called a prayer plant because the leaves literally move all the time. You know, they alter to the light. They can close up a bit. You know, they can be sort of like a pair of hands at prayer, go into prayer. They remind me of those fickle fish you used to get in Christmas crackers. You know, one minute they are like flat, the next minute they're folding over and bending around and doing all sorts of weird shapes. That's what they're like. But this plant, I'll tell you, it doesn't feel real. It feels like crepe paper. It's lovely. They've got really nice colouring on the leaves. You've got the gorgeous pink and the 2 tones of green, or 3 tones of green even, because there's a lime green one poking on the top there. And they're just lovely. And then the underneath is like that. Just gorgeous. I love them. This one's going to be moved more over, but they do have a lean to them. They will stretch outwards. They don't drape downwards. They creep along. So I'll show you again how that one looks when it's ready, you know, when it's more grown. Okay, let me show you this one now. So there I've got, to the left I've got a pachira aquatica that's got a few nibbles on it. These are pet friendly, these plants. The prayer planters as well. These are all ones that if my cats got up close and they gave it a nibble, then you know, they're not going to get sick, because some of them, some plants are not suitable for pets. If they're swallowed, they have a tendency, the sap is like the poisonous bit to it, and you know, it can make them really have a bad reaction, or it can be fatal in some cases. But the pachira aquatica, I'll show you one in the bathroom when I go in there. You'll be able to see, but I don't know if you can see, but the leaves are looking a little bit on the nibbled side. I'm hoping that once this has been there for quite some time that they'll get, well, it's Oreo. The other cats, my 4 older ones that are Gizmo's nearly 13, I've got Luna that's 4, and then I've got Percy and Cosmo that are 2 years of age, and they don't bother with my plants at all. Yeah, they're of an age where they're not interested, but it was it's Oreo that's the one that likes to nibble, so I've had to sort of trim the ends that are really chewed, and we'll see how they get on. And then, see, this is the one of the ones that was with a rotten leaf, a rotten root to it, stem, that I had sent out from bellr. I've never had bad plants from him before, ever, but this time, between the end of November and to recent, I had, I don't know if you've seen my videos going back now, there's a couple of pachiras that I had rotten, not all of the stems were rotten, but there was like either 1 or 2 depending on the plant, and they had issues with root rot. So I thought I'll keep hold and I'll remove the rotten ones, because I've had a look on Google and apparently you can do that, remove the rotten one and the rest will still thrive. So that's what I've done, is remove the rotten ones, and I'm seeing how they get on, but they seem to be doing okay. Ideally you want to change the soil just in case there's any rot in there or disease or anything, but the minute I'm going to just leave them, and I can't do anything because all the shops are shutting now for Christmas. So I will wait until I'll wait until they reopen in the new year, and I will order some ficus soil because that's the sort that suits these, from Ninja, and I'm going to give it a go and see how we get on. I can see at the top there, I don't know if you can see it, whoops, there's my finger close up, there's a root, not root, a shoot even from one of the leaves right in the middle. It's just pointing upwards. There's a new shoot to a leaf, so I'm hoping because it's right in the window and getting lots of light, but this doesn't get high sun. We get some sun in the first thing in the morning, and when it's obviously not now, but some spring summer weather, so I'll have to see how it goes, because if it's too in the window and we've got bright sunshine, then it can scorch the leaves. So we'll see. I might have to sort of alter where that lives a little bit, but for now it's fine because the sun, we don't have any bright sun, we just have what you call it, indirect sunlight, indirect light, but hopefully that'll continue to thrive, but I'll wait till spring to repotting it and seeing how it gets on, if I can. This one's called the bird's nest fern. Again, it's a pet friendly and it's had a few nibbles on it. I've tidied the leaves up a little bit that were really chewed on, but it seems to be doing okay. I think this is going to be an easier plant to look after than the Boston fern. The Boston fern was horrendous. It kept dropping loads and loads of bits all over my bathroom floor, and in the end I gave up on it. It was just awful. This fern is supposed to be a much easier one to look after, so we'll see how she goes. But they like moisture, so like bathrooms and kitchens, because then, I mean, this is right by the sink, so you've got all the steam that comes along, so it'll be happy. There is another name for that, but I forget what it's called. But yeah, so at the minute in my kitchen I've just got the two plants there in the window, and then I've got this one here, and I'm going to work on getting some more pet friendlies obviously in the kitchen. I wouldn't want to put anything that's not, because the cats are in here all the time, and if they eat the leaves or have any of the sap go into their skin or whatever, it can make them really sick. So pet friendly ones will definitely be in here. They'll be in the living room as well, and if there's any that are toxic to cats that I'm going to put in the living room, again I will do what I've done in my bedroom, and I'll do them in a bird cage so the cats can't actually get at them to eat them, so they're kept very safe. But yeah, I'm going to hang all mine on the kitchen cupboards. I've got some really nice ideas of things to go around here as well, where the doorway is, so we'll see. Could I sleep in? Right, I'm going to move round to the wet room and then you'll be able to see. I just love it. My son's like, oh my god, it's like the Amazon in here, and I'm like, I know, I love it, it's great, isn't it? I've got a jungle theme in the bathroom, and so yeah, I'm going to have a field day with what's to come in here. Anyway, I'll show you the rest of the plants that I've got. Those three in the kitchen were all from Floral. Tell a lie, the pachira was from bellr. I had issues with that plant when it arrived, and like I say, I've removed the root stem that was an issue, and at the moment it seems to be picking up, so we'll see how she goes. I'll do a video when it comes to repotting the soil, and I'll show you how the plant is now looking. Fingers crossed it you know, pulls through and is okay. Right, this is the Pothos Enjoy. This plant is just gorgeous. It really is pretty. We've got some really lovely cream and green leaves. With this plant, you do get the odd leaf that does go like where you can see here on this one, where there's a bit of browning starts. When it gets a bit more than that, I take that leaf off. It's just as it's growing, you know. The rest of them are fine. I've got some new leaves that are coming through. It's like that one there. Oops, you can't quite see. There you go. There's a new leaf there just growing. I did think about moving this because, you know, they like direct, not direct sunlight, but more lighter. But I just think at the minute with the winter months and lack of sun and daylight, it's sort of, you know, having an effect on some of the leaves. But it'll be fine. Next year I'm going to have a grow lamp that I can take round and just turn it on for a few hours just so they get a boost. At the minute I can't afford it, so it's just that they're just having to do what I can with them. But it's growing, it's looking fantastic. What I want to do with this plant now is get some leaves, say cut down to from this leaf to the stem there, and I'm going to stick it in water and let some roots develop on it. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to repot them into the soil, the extra branches, and hopefully that will all take, because there are areas that are like bald on the top. I don't know, you won't be able to see there, but there are some branches that I had to remove because they were just no good. I had issues with the Royal Mail person that was doing deliveries. It turned out that the person, I was speaking to the regular postman that usually delivers parcels, and he said that we get a Royal Mail person, he says, that covers my shifts when I'm not in, and he doesn't like delivering to flats. He tends to sit in the van and then go on to, puts it as a missed delivery, missed collection and all the rest of it, so it ends up going back to the office. So then the poor parcel, says, especially if it's got plants in it, has you know, been then gone from out in the van on delivery to then be shunted back into the sorting room. So it's had a lot of manhandling, and some people are more, you know, careful than others with plants and other things in parcels than others. And yeah, this one was quite traumatised, I think. There was a lot of soil shook out of it, and a couple of branches were broken, so it's had a bit of time just to settle down. It's all right, and it's a nice plant. I find that I don't need to water it too often. I just water it when the top feels dried out, and then I just give it a water. And it is a lovely plant. I really like it. I like it because it's a bit different. But yeah, like I said, I want to try and get some roots in a pot, well, in some water, do some cuttings and see whether it takes some roots, and then I'm going to plant it in the top there and just give it a bit more of a fullness. So that's that one, the Pothos Enjoy from Also Floral. This one's from bellr. This was my first one that I bought from them. It's absolutely growing like a wildfire. It's crazy. This is called the Tridscantia. Purple Passion. It's just beautiful. I really love this plant. Let me carefully take this down because I have watered it, so it is a bit of a heavier plant because it's had water in it. I don't know if you can see the shimmer on the leaves to it. It's just gorgeous. It's like it's got like frosting on it, glitter. It's beautiful. A really, really lovely plant. And then you've got the colour of the purple is just wow. It doesn't look real. I really love this plant. I have actually got a few of these in cuttings on the windowsill over there. My little moisturiser pot, I washed it out. I thought I can use that for cuttings. So that's exactly what I've done. I've put some water in that I use from my bottle, because I don't use tap water on my plants. Or tap water is too harsh and full of chemicals and stuff that harms the plants. So I've got that on the windowsill there, hoping that they'll root and I can have some more of this plant. So if anything happens to this, then at least I've got new ones. But it's just beautiful. I really like it. It's a very sweet plant and it grows like mad. So that's that one. Oh, it's hard work picking that plant up. This one on the top there is from Floral. It's the raster, which is also known as the lipstick plant. It's grown loads. That one's pet friendly, I think, the raster. I'm pretty sure it is. These two, so this one and that one are not. They are not pet friendly at all, but this one I think is the raster, but don't quote me on it. The plant is called the lipstick plant because of the flowers that come out of it. They literally look like tubes of lipstick. They don't flower for long, so when the flower goes into bloom, it like dies off pretty quickly. This one is yet to go into flower, but I mean, we're not in flowering season yet, so I think as it grows and grows a bit more, we'll have flowers on it and it's going to look stunning. I can't wait to see it in a basket hanging up. At the moment, it's in this pot on a shelf, but I think I'm going to have to get some hangy things and yeah, get it hanging off, or you know, off one of those macrame hangers or something. I'll do something with it. But right now it's not flower season for it, so we shall wait and see. I'll show you when the flowers come up on it anyway. This is a devil's ivy, another one that likes to grow like wildfire. I'm going to get some cuttings from this one as well, because and this is a plant that I had gifted me from the lady I had the bird cage off. She says, oh, do you want this? And I said, oh yeah, okay. I recognised it straight away. So what I'm going to do is, it does need repotting. It wasn't sort of in the pot, but looking a bit tatty, and I had to take some of the dead away. I had to cut it off. So it's a little bit of a neglected plant, but I'm going to repot it. I'm going to put it in a pot with some nice fresh soil in, and I'm going to see if I can get it to trail. It's doing pretty well on its own. I've had new growth on it, but what I want to do is take some cuttings, put some roots on it, and then I'm going to get it to bush so it's a bit thicker on the top, because at the minute it's a bit on the thin side, because all the ones that were sort of making it a fuller plant, I had to cut them off. So I don't know if this is in with the bird that she probably had in that cage or what, no idea. But it's beautiful. I love this plant. You know, it has like a mottled look, so you have like creamy bits that run through it. It needs to be ideally more closer to a window, so it's not picking up a huge amount of it, but we'll see. Maybe when I've got more hangy things hanging up, I can put it somewhere where the cats can't get at it, and I can get the full potential from it. But for now, it's going to have to do. This is my rubber plant. This is the Belize. I got this from Floral. Absolutely love this. I've just taken off a couple of lower leaves because they were looking a bit tatty. As your plant grows, it has a tendency, how long, let me zoom back. As it grows, your plants that are your leaves that are lower down, I should say, not your plants, they do have a tendency to go a bit manky. So you just cut the old ones off. And eventually you'll get some new ones. There is a sap that comes from this plant you have to be careful with. It's not nice for humans, but also if you've got cats, dogs, this is one to keep well away from, because the sap is what's toxic and can cause irritations and all sorts of things. I love this plant because of all the pinkness in it. It's gorgeous. And I've got a new leaf there about to grow. This was my last little leaf, and now it's grown really big. It's looking lovely. I love it. It's like a camouflagey look to it. Just really pretty. I want to get another one of these, but I also want to get the traditional green one, the pink, the creamy one that is called a tinike, and there's also like a mottled lime green one. It's fantastic. I love, love, love the rubber plants. So I want to get some more of these. They're not pet friendly, so if you have got one of these, make sure it's well away from your cats and dogs, just as a word of warning. Okay, so this is the Syngonium. I absolutely love these plants. They're so easy to care for. They're really nice. Just gorgeous. Let me just lift this up a sec, because I bottom water my plants where possible, and I've put some water in the bottom of that and it's absorbed it nice. I just wanted to check it wasn't standing in water, because that can cause then root rot. Right, this is a Syngonium. It's absolutely gorgeous. Love this plant. This is called the red heart, although the leaves are pink, so I'm not sure why it's called red, but and it's just beautiful. It's got a few names for this plant, but I really love it, and it grows loads. Surprising how fast it's grown, because it was quite small when I had it, and now we've got all this excess growth that's appeared. It's just beautiful. I love it. And I've got a pink confetti in my bedroom that yeah, is growing brilliantly as well. But I want to get some other variations of this plant because I just love it. I'd love a pink splash. They're fantastic. So this is my pachira aquatica that I got from your garden, something like that. I always get their name wrong. They're on TikTok as well. I had issues with them when their plant arrived. It had like issues on the leaves. There was like, I don't know, it looked like, I don't know if it was from the sun, water on the leaves and then sun, and it scorched it, because that's what it looked like to me. It wasn't a disease or anything. So what I did was cut most of the old leaves off, but earlier on I cut more of the leaves that I left on, otherwise it would be just a stem with nothing on it. And I've cut the big leaves off just so, just that you can see where I've cut off there. This eventually will sort of go a bit of a browny tone, and then it will be, you can just knock it off. But you can see that I've got new babies growing on there. Here, there and everywhere. There's shoots all over the place, and it's doing really well. This is amazing. This plant, you just have to be careful. You don't overwater it. That's the thing. I've got a new branch trying to grow here, which is fantastic. I'll get that wound in with everything. Yeah, if you overwater it, you end up with root rot, and that's what has happened to a couple of the ones that arrived from bellr. There must have been a batch of them that were not kept in the greatest of conditions, that they arrived with what's like a root rot. Well, basically it was a root rot. So I had 2 of them on one plant and 1 on another. It was completely, you could see it, you know, you could see the rot in it. It was disgusting. It stunk. So I googled, can I salvage the rest of the plant, because I thought it seems a shame. And that was the one in the kitchen that you saw, and I've got one in the bedroom. Yeah, so I removed them because that's what it said you could do on Google. Just change the soil, and I'll do that when we get to springtime, and then it'll have fresh soil in. Wash the pot out, and so it's like starting again. Hopefully they'll be okay. They seem to be thriving. But this one, when it came, it had good solid roots. So I've been able to sort of use this as the comparison one to the ones that I got from bellr that weren't very good. And I'm not trying to knock the company bellr that I've bought from, but they did send me plants out that weren't very good. Will I buy from them again? Probably, because I think they've learnt from it. Hopefully they've learnt now what to look for and stuff. And if anyone else complains about the plant that they've had, then at least they can say, well, we've had complaints already about this plant. So yeah, this is fantastic. The issues that I had from your garden was that basically it wasn't protected, and some of the branches were broken on arrival. Some of the leaves had, yeah, they were all like as if it was sunburnt, basically scorched. But I've managed to flip it around and it's turning into a really lovely plant. So, and it grows absolutely crazy. I mean, these are all brand new leaves, babies that have grown and shot up. This has gone crazy and I love it. It's an amazing plant. It's called the money tree, and I've yet to win any lottery or anything. Be interesting to see whether my fortune changes with having so many of them. So this one is the anthurium. It's gorgeous. Love this one. This one's a version that's more like a cross between an anthurium and a peace lily. The flowers are just incredible on it. This is your more traditional anthurium in the yellow. Beautiful, really easy to look after. You know, you don't need to water them too much, but you need to just keep checking the soil. When it's dry, that's when I water them. That one up there is a calathea, that's the trio star, and that one there is the calathea draughty. Love these plants, absolutely amazing, really, really lovely. These two, also floral. That's an also floral plant. That was one of my first ones. The hardest plants really to have because they need a lot of attention and checking that they're wet, you know, moist enough and all the rest of it. You don't want to sit them in soaking wet soil, but you just want to make sure that they don't dry out. This is the draughty, absolutely gorgeous. She's recently had a brand new leaf that just looks incredible. So I'm looking forward to seeing this thrive. It's gorgeous. So that's that one. But they do best in bathrooms because they need the condensation and stuff. Yeah, gorgeous. Again, also floral. This is my peace lily, the only one that I've got from a supermarket that's still living. I've had it for over 3 years. I had it off my mum and dad as a moving in present. And it's doing incredibly well. It does need repotting. Hang on, as I beat myself up, just knocked my elbow on the loo. This one is in need now to be repotted. It's absolutely full to bursting. I'm trying to get hold of it. But it does feel, you can feel the roots. I mean, you can see there that they're popping out the bottom. So as soon as we get towards springtime, I'm going to repot this. It's not going to like it. It's going to have a bit of a shock to the system, but it will be good. It'll be fine. And then hopefully I'll have some new flowers. It reflowers for me all the time. It's an amazing plant. I do want to get the diamond one. They're a lovely version of the peace lily. They just got like a different look to the leaves. So, but you know, with this plant when it needs watering, because it's very dramatic, it goes all floppy, and you give it a good watering and suddenly it'll come back like this 24 hours, well, not even 24 hours later, it'll go a bit crazy and just suddenly come back to life. So there's that one. These are my cuttings that I've got. Just dribbled water all over my knee. So there's 3 Tradescantia ones I've cut off, and these are from my string of hearts, my silver glory. I've given them a bit of a new lease of life, see if they become okay. I want some roots on these, and then I'm going to repot them and hopefully have some more plants. I'm going to do this with the other ones that I've got, the variegated and the normal string of hearts, and see if I can get some other plants from them. Be rather cute. Alright, let me just put that back up there to get that. That's it. Do you want it sitting in water on the leaves because it might rot it? This is my green and orange. I absolutely love this plant. This I got from Bellr. It's lovely. This is a plant that is a family member of the traditional spider plant, but it's a tropical one, and I love it. It's absolutely gorgeous. The green, orange, and then the newer leaves come up like a yellow. But I don't know whether they'll turn from yellow to orange later on, but there's like a green tint to the leaves that are just shooting out now. Apparently this will have babies like the traditional spider plant, so we'll see. And they come out in this green and orange variation too. So that'll be nice. I would love to have some babies off this, and I want to get some more. Doing pretty well. That's the new leaf that's grown as well. But this one here was like super tiny, and now it's shooting along. I try not to, I'm learnt with this one not to overwater, because I did have a traditional spider plant and I just killed it. You learn, it's a learning curve, and I use bottled water for mine. I also have used, when I'm short, I've used the water from a tumble dryer, as it's not tap, but tap water doesn't seem to like the houseplants. Hello. So there's another of my pachira that's come from Bellr. Let me just show you. There we go. This is the new one that arrived the other day, and it's doing okay. And just checked. The first thing I did was I checked all the roots to make sure they were all nice and firm and no rot, because the ones with the rot literally was all the way up. It was horrible. But you keep this on, and it keeps it intertwined then. But it's nice. So I'm going to put this somewhere. I'm just leaving it at the moment just to, because when you get new ones, you just put them away from your other plants just in case there's any issues. So that's that one. This is a snake plant. This is a replacement one of the one that I had from Bellr as well, because I had one that was an issue, had a plant with loads of problems to it. But yeah, this is the Lorente. They don't like bathrooms, but it's only just for a little while, just till I can find somewhere to put it. The cats can't eat this because it's toxic. But it's still got a bit of an issue on the top of the stem, so I wasn't happy about that, but it's better. And it's got new ones growing as well. So that's cute. So that's that one. You don't water these very often. They thrive on neglect. Snake plants are fabulous. And that's one that I've got for a neighbour as a thank you for helping out with me and getting me bits as a Christmas gift. But that one there is pet friendly. Peace lily definitely not. But yeah, they're brilliant. Right, that's it. That's my plants. So I'm gonna love and leave. Catch you later. Bye bye.